Good morning, beautiful. It's lovely to see you. And if it seems like I'm half asleep, you're quite right. I had a really powerful meditation this morning and I'm still not really back. So this is me with my brain not in normal beta, low beta brainwaves. I think there's a bunch of theta in it, not alpha. I'm not awake. So this is going to be fun. It's windy outside, so we're going to do rocks today. And I like rocks, and I get to sit here, and it's just peaceful and easy. For a brain that's still somewhere else, see, this is rose quartz. And it's kind of lovely because you can see it's a bit agatized, which is less common. Good morning, Linda. It doesn't look like that from here. Oh, yes, you can. See the lines? So sometimes it just grows a bit like that, but very often it just looks pink, and this is quite pale as well. It's a little bit different from what we think of as rose quartz. And this one you will recognise, Linda, because you sent this to me with my hat. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, all beautiful people. So this is raw emerald that's been tumbled. Now, my other hat, which Linda knitted me when she sent it to me, had a bunch of other fun things with it. So, here is the emerald. It's beautiful. Thanks, Jim. I always appreciate the shares. And I'm going to put those two down now. This is a common participant. This is fluorite, and it's just a raw tetrahedron. And it is, you might think it's all green, but actually the top really truly is white. It's a bit more obvious if I catch the light on it, and green below, and it's just lovely. You can see its face, it's not perfect, just like you and me. It's got irregularities and roughnesses, but this is how nature formed it. And look, see, there's this sort of, if I turned up the other way, see, there's like a hill, like a little horizon. And you can more clearly see the whiteness of what it's sitting on. So it's like a little landscape inside itself. It's beautiful. Just seems to work better upside down, whatever that is. So there it is. Yeah, I just enjoy those little rocks you sent me, Linda, and sometimes they jump on live with us. So there you are. I'm just enjoying the detail of this one. And it's nice. So, today there was something that inspired me about a beautiful friend who was on a path, and just a comment he made about really, in short, starting to believe in his own abilities. And I thought, what a good topic for a life, because we all get programmed, and that's being human, right? We all, wake up in a body. And remember, we don't really awake for the first 2 years. For the first 2 years, your brain is in delta. A little baby is just asleep with its eyes open. And that's why they sleep so much, because the brain is asleep. It's in delta, which is from 0.5 to 4 cycles per second. Very slow. And then from age 2 to about 7, the child goes into theta. And theta is 4 to 8. Cycles per second, and it's like hypnosis. Hi, Linda. So everything just goes straight in. There is no analytical filter. If somebody says, oh, you're not very good at that, are you? You're clumsy. You're whatever. So whatever we get told just goes in. And if, you bring home your first scratch, crayon, paint, whatever thing from school, and your sibling or your parent or someone at school already says, oh, that's not very good, or you look at what you've done and you compare it to someone else and you say, theirs is better than mine, and because you're just in your internal experience, theta, And by the way, once the child hits about 7 to about 11, 12, can even be later, depends on the person, the brain speeds up a little bit more because it's starting to take notice of information in the external environment. And the more it perks up and pays attention to information in the external environment, the more it goes faster. So it goes into alpha, and alpha is the land of imagination. And there's a little bit more ability to say, well, I like this and I don't like that, and really, the analytical mind starts to form. But, still, whatever you're feeling, you're more about what's inside you and your felt experience when you're in alpha than what's outside you. And by the time your analytical mind is really formed by the age of 12, 13, whatever, you're in beta. And all that stuff is just sitting there and, the scope of it can be astonishing. Julian, you're on the bridge. Yay! We have the camel wranglers, both of them, in place. It's very good. So, sometimes we get told a ton of lies, Jim. We usually get told a ton of good things too. Not everybody. Everybody has a mixed experience. Kathleen, good morning. And there's the whole philosophical discussion about what we choose before we come in, and I don't really want to go there today. We're creators. The creation doesn't start when we're born. Again, this is my experience. It's not about blame either, or punishment, or I chose this because of my karma. So, all of us are born geniuses. We are born with this enormous potential because, hello, you are a slice of infinite life, source, divinity, whatever you want to call it. You're a slice of God in a body. And by a slice, normally when you take a cake, you take a slice out of it. The cake is less and the slice is a piece. But that's not the kind of slice that you are. Divinity, source, God, the all, whatever you want to call it, Phyllis, good morning, is fractal. The shape in the cactus that swirls outwards, and you see it in a galaxy, and you see the shape of an apple, and it's a torus, and the universe and black holes are shaped like that. And you look at a picture of the shape of the alveoli and the channels in the lungs, and it looks like the delta of the Mississippi, or not the Mississippi, but you Google Earth. You look at the pictures in Google Earth, and they look like blood vessels. You look at a walnut, and it looks like your brain. All the patterns repeat, and they are fractals. And the thing about fractal patterns is that when you take a little piece of the fractal and you look at it really close, you find the whole hugeness of the fractal inside it. So you're not a subtraction and you're not a part. Is God a pie or a cake? All of it, Linda. So, you might say, oh, me, a slice of God. It's not really a slice. You are a fractal pattern. And that fractal pattern, which is the consciousness, the awareness of you, is what patterns your body. Your body is gravitationally organized light. And your consciousness is the pattern that says, organize it like this. That's actually what I have read and believe and pretty much experienced to be true. So in that way, you are, like if there's endless whirls and swirls and waves in the sea or bubbles or whatever, you are, if you're a drop of the ocean, you're the whole ocean. We're totally holograms of God. Thank you. See what Linda does? Takes what I'm struggling to put into words and puts it in 3 or 4. Linda, thank you. We are holograms of God. Exactly. And so in those formative years, usually in the formative years, but sometimes later, depends on what happens, okay? Sooner or later, however it happens, we make a comparison. Either because of something we see outside of ourselves and we compare it to inside ourselves, and there's a difference, and we make an assessment and we make a judgment. Oh, well, they're better than me at that. That must mean I'm no good. Well, maybe they just practiced more than you, or they're older than you are, or got better manual skills, or whatever it is. But we make a judgment about ourselves. Holly, good morning. And then we believe it. And we make it true. And those programmed beliefs, whether we programmed ourselves or someone else does, whether it was true or justified or not, is irrelevant. remember, you're a hologram of God. If you want to create or unleash the talent that's in you, then that's that. It is within you. And so, this is just about the fact that if there's something you want to do, it is within you, not just to do it, but to do it brilliantly, to excel at it, to be a shining star at it. It really is within you. It's just that if you find it difficult to step into that, the identity of being brilliant, well, it's because, you learn to believe that you're not brilliant. Comparison, a judgment of this. Yeah, exactly. If this were different, I'd be happy. Well, I can be happy regardless of whether I'm good at something or not, but we're programmed to believe otherwise. You're stronger, you're weaker, you're faster, you're slower. The polarity's there. It's the puzzle of being alive. Hi, Laura. Hi, Eric. Yeah, holograms are whole, the sum of all the parts. And so we forget because we come in and we get programmed, right? Okay. Don't make that a story. Don't make that your excuse for not showing up as a genius. I have things that come along and they can give me an excuse to show up as scared. Or show up as, I don't know how to deal with that. Oh, that's scary. That's unknown. That's unfamiliar. I've never worked that out before. And my body will it did it last night. It was amazing. And I was just observing, thinking, this is interesting. Hi, Cat! So, my body still gets to run that old program sometimes. I'm sitting here in 15, 16 degrees, which is quite comfortable for me. And I'm cold. And I know when that happens that my autonomic nervous system has said there is danger here. I'm going to shut down peripheral circulation. I got to save everything for that threat, which is going to come around the corner very soon, only there is no threat. I've just made it up inside my head. I've reacted to something. And I spent time yesterday, in fact last night, overcoming myself because, my body doesn't sleep too well when it's in that state. And this morning, I think that's why my meditation was so powerful, and I'm not really back because I shifted a ton of stuff. That's the blessing of when things go bang and I have the ability to go deep into the field. And I was deep. I was asleep, sitting up, and yet I was still conscious, and I was creating, and a lot of energy, and I can still feel the energy running through my body. It was powerful. So, that's why I'm not really here. But these beliefs, these things, they get triggered by external circumstances, and we know them because they feel bad. It's a really, really obvious thing to say. But I think we can get so used to feeling bad and so used to feeling small and worthless, insert your words, whatever it is, that it is difficult for you to believe and inhabit and embody about yourself. We get so used to believing it and feeling it and embodying it that it's a box we can't see out of. And when the circumstances trigger that stuff up, it's like, oh, God, this is horrible. Because it is, because it feels bad. But then to realise that it's not you, it's not true, and so who do I want to be instead? And I had to make that choice yesterday. Again, hang on, I remember how it is to open my heart. I remember that feeling. And, I didn't have the opportunity at the time when this blew up inside me to just sit down and meditate for an hour. That would have been nice. No, I had stuff to do. So I had to keep choosing, where am I going to put my attention? And for a while I was aware that my attention was on these gently circling thoughts. They weren't racing. It wasn't massive. It wasn't a complete meltdown. But my brain was going, well, I'm trying to work this out. And in the process of trying to work it out, my body went into a state of dis-ease. It was just uneasy. And then I had some physical things that happened later. It's like, whoa, my body's really uneasy, So it happens to me too. And I know what it was about because, I really figured that out by the time I got to sit down this morning and knew what I was dealing with. And lots of energy moved. I'm so grateful. But the key thing to realise is that if it feels bad, you are believing something about yourself that isn't true. Life is not supposed to feel bad. Living is not supposed to feel bad. It's not supposed to be a struggle. Now, I'm not saying rush off and be a great hedonist. I really don't believe in using things to distract myself from the pain that I'm feeling. Although I understand that, that is a valid way to deal with the fact that your life can be a living hell. It's just not a very productive or helpful way because it messes with your brain. And sometimes you do things you regret, whatever. It's a valid way to feel better because we want to feel better. We want to feel good. Sometimes I see navigating a process where they do that, but they know they want to feel better. And so they're starting to deal with their, whatever it is, their beliefs and their nasty feelings and, the programming in the body and the mind and all that. And as they get better at regulating their own internal state, the thing they used to have to do to make themselves feel better just falls away. Because you get hooked on your own inner good feelings because you can learn how to create them instead of having to go to something outside of yourself, to make you feel better. And that's the journey we're all on one way or another. So if there's something that you want to embody and you look at it, or you think, I imagine myself successful in business, and immediately think, I can't do that. I've never been successful with money in my life. I don't even know how to, whatever. That, I can't do this. It's just what you believe, but it's not true about you. And that is the point at which you can say, well, actually, what is the question? What is the question here? Who do I want to be? Am I going to keep saying, how much I can't do this and how scary this is and how difficult it is and how bad I feel? Or, gently or otherwise, grab myself by the shoulder and say, wait a minute. Whoa. What were my dreams and visions and goals and desires, and how does it feel when I am a little bit more the person I want to be? And who the hell is that person anyway that I want to be? And what would I have to believe about myself? And I know it's going to feel wrong to believe that I can be brilliant, that I am brilliant, that I know how to be a successful XYZ. I'm watching somebody very close to me having made that decision that, I am this. And then having made that decision, well, that doesn't mean that they're this, but I'm seeing all these consistent little actions, and lo and behold, they are becoming this. It's powerful when you make a choice. Okay, I don't feel like this person, but I want to be this person. So how does this person behave and how do they feel? And what tiny, small, apparently useless incremental step can I take towards that today? And, you really can feel like pissing into a sandstorm. You don't even get wet. You just get sandblasted. But that's what we have to do, to becoming yourself. You've got to be more in love, even with the desire to create that self, than you are with all the failures and all the difficulties and everything you have done up until now to survive or, to get by, to get what you want in life. There's a point at which you start to let that go because you begin to move more into who you want to be. And it's such a journey. Berna, good morning, sweetie. To understand that it's this incremental thing, and whether you want to totally believe in yourself or just survive the next day when it feels impossible, the process is the same. To imagine who it is that you could be. And if you were, in a different life, having stepped into a TARDIS and gone, boom, and there you are in this new self, and this new body, new experience, new everything, well, what would that person do? And what would that person do that would be most loving to you? And most loving as a consequence, not as a reason to not love you, but most loving to everyone else. Because when you are truly loving to yourself, when you truly choose what's right for you, you always choose what is best for others. And some people don't like that. Some people are used to you being small and hiding your light and not being brilliant, and it makes them feel secure because you aren't. Okay? And you come up against those people, and I don't mean you come up against them as in you have to fight them. It's just that when you start to grow, they will get antsy. Because when you start to grow, suddenly you're not there making them feel strong and capable, so they start to feel what they're feeling, which is scared and, whatever it is. And it's a challenge to hold your own space in the middle of that. Alison, g'day, sweetie. So, we always have to ask, well, the best version of me, what would that version of me do? And if in doubt, I just got reminded, reading some notes I took from listening to Dr. Joe recently, what would love do? Which, of course, is, what he's read in Neil Donald Walsh's Conversation with God book. What would love do? And what's most loving to me? Morning, Pearl. Great to see you. That's the question, really. Oh, geez, I don't believe in myself. I can't do this. This is too hard. It's scary. I don't know who this me is. Well, okay, I'm with all of that. What would love do right now? It's an interesting question to ask because now it's an open-ended question and it opens up possibilities instead of just affirming all the reasons why nothing can change. And if you wake up in the morning, I don't do this, it's just a wild idea that flew into my head, must be for somebody. If you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, "Good morning, genius," after a while you might start to believe it. Program yourself. Who said you can't? You just believed somebody when they said something about you, or you believed an experience you had at a particular time in a particular place, and you made it who you are. It's not. But it's up to you to choose the new program, who you want to be. G'day, Gaia, man. I've just got time to say ta-da. No, I'm done. Remember, these lives are going to move to my Maddie Schaefer Manifestation Coaching page next week. I now have the date. I know it'll be next Monday. Sunday for you if you're on the other side of the date line. But for now, we're still here. So remember, if you haven't liked the page, please do. I'm sure you have. You're all familiar, beautiful people to me. But I'm looking forward to it. Got to do it. Big love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.